Stuart, I have a question. Sometimes when the energy is very intense and I'm barely able to keep myself conscious, I kind of, I don't know, pass out or something. And I'm wondering if that's, um, well, I'm just wondering what that is.
It's very simple, Pat. We all think consciousness is a mind that never shuts up, all that noise there. And what you just expressed is you getting free of that.
Mm,
You getting free of that, entering a different plane of consciousness,
yes.
moving through some kind of a void that attaches you to higher energy in the universe. And that's what you're experiencing. And we're so habituated to believe that thinking is what is consciousness. And all thinking does is eats up our energy. So in this meditation, sometimes you will feel a state of nothingness inside yourself. Now, that's not a lack of consciousness, it's getting free of old habits and allowing higher energy to then come down and fill your system. And, and taking you to a whole new creative level of living. So it's not that you're losing consciousness, you're just getting free of that noise in the brain,
Mm,
you know. And I'm not saying the mind, it has a purpose. Look, we have to, in order to function every day, and the world requires us to analyze things, to make conscious choices, to use the mind. But when you practice deep spiritual work, you understand that use of the mind, and you don't substitute it for a spiritual life. You know that in order to have a spiritual life, your mind needs to get focused in the chakra below the navel. And that's going to bring a kind of sense of nothingness to you, which is openness to receiving energy of spirit. The source of all creative energy. We have to stop blocking it and keeping it from coming into us. And just give up old habits. I mean, every time you wake up in the morning, it's a new day. Bring a new level of consciousness to it. Let yourself be guided by the source of creative energy in the universe. I mean, there couldn't be a better way to live. I mean, look, all of the greatest art, the greatest music, the greatest everything, comes from that source of energy. And it flows through people when somehow they've managed to open to let it come through. I mean, it's like Bach. I mean, the guy was dying, an extraordinary story, and everybody's moaning and lamenting and crying. And I said, why are you doing this? I'm just going to where the source of the music comes from. I think it's one of the greatest things I ever heard. I'm going to the source where the music comes from. Why are you unhappy? And frankly, we should all live every day of our lives connected to the source where the music comes from. There'd be a lot of joy in life, a lot of love in life, a lot of openness, a lot of freedom to truly create in life and not to be bound by the strictures and structures and habits and conditioning that really controls the lives of so many people. So I think what you just are experiencing, Pat, is that it's a transitional period of getting free of the noise in the brain.
mm.
I mean, there's two minds. There's intellect and then there's higher energy.
Mm.
Knowledge that comes from a higher source of energy is beyond all human comprehension. It is so vast and so extraordinary that it transcends human comprehension. How does it manifest? Paintings by Van Gogh, by Rembrandt, by Botticelli, by, great artists, that moment when they're creating, they're connected to that energy. Great composers, dancers, the moment of creation, they're connected to that energy. And it brings about the highest level of creation. A lot of the art and stuff today is all heady, and it gets, well, to me anyway, a little bit boring, you know. Does anyone else have a question?
Thank you, Stuart.
Welcome. Does anyone else have a question? I just have a few announcements to make. There's going to be a retreat here in Connecticut and Stamford, I think the weekend of the 25th. And, if you want to come, there's still some space, people can come. And also after the retreat, I really have decided I have to take another few days off. Those retreats are so intense and powerful, that I'm going to take 3 or 4 days and just make a trip and have a short vacation to absorb it all and come back and have classes they'll be on a whole different level. Does anyone have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, then thank you. God bless you all and have a great weekend and be happy. Be happy. I mean, look, there's a lot of bullshit that goes on in this world. I mean, my God, you can't read the media. They're all insane. What's going on in the world today? And our job is to be happy, to take that insanity and turn it around to an open heart, to love, to compassion, to, just being human on the best level possible. That really is the essential core of this work, becoming human on the best level that's possible. And that, really is just being a happy person, have lightness of being, joy. Okay, if there are no more questions, then there will be meditation on Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.